Which way for Justice Philip Tunoi and which way for the Supreme Court?
It is not whether the allegation against Justice Tunoi will be proven. The damage to the judiciary has already been done.
The Supreme Court is the highest court in the land, with the final say on any judicial matter. That one of its members is caught up in a mega corruption scam, raising questions on the impartiality of the entire institution.
It is actually worse for the entire judicial system that the allegations are being made against the apex court. The integrity of a judicial system is not measured on anything else other than the perception of the person in the street. So that if you ask a person in the street, do you have confidence in the current judiciary? If they say no, then it doesn't matter what else the judiciary says or does.
The petition filed by Kidero seeking to overturn the Court of Appeal ruling that he was not elected fairly was handled by a 7-judge bench of the Supreme Court, presided by Chief Justice Dr. Willy Mutunga. But the unanimous ruling was read by Justice Tunoi in August 2014, since he was the senior-most judge, in the absence of Mutunga, who was out of the country, and Deputy Chief Justice Kalpana Rawal, who was at the time indisposed. According to our sources, the ruling of the Supreme Court in the Kidero case was drafted by Justice Mokin Wanjala, and all other members of the bench endorsed it, with the exception of Justice Joaquin Ndungo, who dissented. And in the wake of the latest claims, Waitito is now calling for a review of the ruling that affirmed Kidero's election.
Everybody is aware that money changed hands. 200 million bought my victory, bought the victory of Nairobians.
Other than the presidential election petition, the Supreme Court handled many other petitions challenging the election of governors, and none of the governors had their election nullified, even though the Court of Appeal had ordered fresh elections in a number of counties.
We are committed to running a clean judiciary, and any matter that is brought before us is investigated and acted on fairly without prejudice to individual rights or public interests.
Should the Judicial Service Commission find there was sufficient evidence linking Tunoi to corruption allegations, it will recommend his removal and ask the President to establish a tribunal to probe the matter in accordance with Article 168 of the Constitution, a situation that could potentially turn murky not only for Tunoi but also the entire judiciary. The principal function of the judiciary is to arbitrate impartially conflicts between members of the society, and when there are allegations of grand corruption such as the one raised against Justice Tunoi, then clearly the judiciary is under siege. Francis Gashuri for The Big Question, Nairobi.